In her seminal work, Women Who Run with the Wolves, Clarissa Pinkola Estes wrote, "There is a time in our lives, usually midlife, when a woman has to make a decision, possibly the most important decision of her future life, and that is whether to be bitter or not. Women often come to this in their late 30s or early 40s. They are at the point where they are full up to their ears with everything, and they've had it, and the last straw has broken the camel's back, and they're pissed off and pooped out. Their dreams of their 20s may be lying in a crumple. There may be broken hearts, broken marriages, broken promises." I really love this quote because as a woman who is in her late 30s who got pissed off and pooped out and ended up leaving her husband, it really resonated. There's something about getting to this point in your life and realizing everything that you thought you knew, everything that was conditioned into you, especially in your 20s, it all falls apart. And I'm seeing a lot of relationships come to an abrupt end, or not so abrupt end. Mine was not abrupt. Mine was an inevitability that took 10 years to occur. So on that note, you will be meeting our friend Liz, who is one of the many people, but especially women, at least as far as I've noticed, who got fed up and pooped out and left her abusive relationship. So I want to set the stage of how this particular recording came to be. So Liz is Rachel's neighbor, and she was able to keep the house in the divorce. And so she has been steadily redecorating it as a way to purge all those terrible memories, or at least attempting to. Every single room has gotten some sort of glow-up treatment. And most of the rooms were looking really wonderful, except the bedroom. The bedroom also had gotten redecorated, and it also was just filled with clutter. And it was so filled with clutter that Liz was unable to sleep in her own bed. She was sleeping on the couch in the living room. Rachel had gone over there at one point, saw the bedroom, and knew immediately what was happening because the rest of the house was immaculate and the bedroom was just this zone of chaos and disaster. So she asked Liz if it was okay for me to come over and do a clearing, because she's like, something else is going on here, which you'll hear her say in the recording. So that's how I got involved with this. When we made this recording, I had only done like maybe a couple of clearings. I had cleared a large public space, something that I'm hoping to do an episode on later, so I'm not going to go into details about that. But I cleared that space, and then I had, cleared my own space, but hadn't really done anything for anybody else at that point. But luckily, I knew that I could do it. And so did Rachel, and so did Liz, because they're both wonderful, supportive friends of mine. And we saw the opportunity for the podcast, because when we made this recording, Which Way From Here hadn't started yet. And we saw the opportunity, and Liz was super awesome and willing to allow herself to be open and vulnerable. She allowed herself to be exposed not only to make a cool podcast episode, but I think in a genuine attempt to help other people, especially other women who are going through similar things as she is. And so you're going to hear in this recording her talk about her struggles and talk about how much it sucked to go through this divorce. I mean, to say her ex-husband was unfaithful is a gross understatement. She's been through it, and the clearing was another tool in her toolbox for reclaiming her sovereignty and reclaiming her space and going through the deep healing that she knows that she needs, and was willing to accept the help when offered to her. So Liz is a fucking badass, is what I'm saying. So yeah, that sets up this episode. When we recorded this, Which Way From Here hadn't started yet, and you will notice us kind of clunkily trying to make an intro and figure out what we're doing. I'm pretty much keeping all of the audio as is. It was mostly recorded outside, at least at first. You'll hear a fourth voice, and that is another neighbor named Jenna. You'll hear her a couple of times. We don't name her in the recording, but that's who you're hearing. And yeah, I'm just letting it be what it is without too much editing because I like it as an artifact. It's one of the very first clearings I did. In fact, it was the first clearing I did for somebody else that wasn't in a public space. That was someone's home. And I've done several of those, and it seems to be a trend for me to help women who have gone through a divorce or a messy breakup to go into their homes and help clear out the space. It's something that I'm passionate about after having gone through that myself. There's just something so deeply powerful and profound in people supporting one another. And in this case, in several cases, women supporting women. It's community coming together in order to help transition from one life to another. And clearings are, like I said, this amazing tool to help make that transition a little bit easier. And it helps to integrate the lessons learned and the energetics of what had just occurred as people enter into their new lives. Okay, so before we dive into the recording, one final note is that towards the end, you'll hear the actual clearing occur. It's the basic energetic hygiene protocol that Amanda developed. It's a wonderful daily practice. It's simple, it's effective, and I highly recommend following along with it and seeing how it feels in your body. It's very similar to what I did for Rachel in our very first episode. In fact, there's just a few differences. I think there's a couple of frequencies that were specific to Liz that we utilized, which is another great example of how easily adaptable these practices are and should be for every individual who engages in them. You want to trust what's coming up for you. You want to adapt it to be the most effective version of what is presented here so that you can do what feels right for you, so that you can do what your body wants, what your own source connection wants. Try it out, see how it feels, see if you're into it. I would say try it for a week if you can, just every day. Try the clearing, follow along, listen to the recording, see how you feel. It's pretty amazing how much it can shift things for you. I can testify to that myself. I also want to say that this will be the last time that you hear me actually record the clearings that I do. And that's because they have gotten much more advanced and much more complicated. And the last thing I want is for people to take the recordings of me doing clearings and go off into kind of dodgy spaces and try to clear it themselves with little or to no experience. That can lead to a world of hurt, and I don't want to be responsible for that. I felt okay allowing this particular clearing to stay in and be listened to because it is just a basic clearing, a basic energetic hygiene practice. So yeah, just wanted to kind of put that out there. So from here on out, when I do episodes about the clearings that I engage in, you're not going to hear me do the actual clearing itself. All right. I think we're fully set up for this recording, for this episode. I hope you enjoy it and all of its imperfection and charm. Yeah. So, welcome, my friends, to Which Way From Here? And we are recording.
All right. So what we are going to do today for our intro to Which Way From Here is we are going to explore an actual clearing, Corinne, if you will, experience. Maybe we should start off by introducing everybody.
Okay.
Real quick. So Rachel and Corinne. So we're kind of the partners in crime, co-hosts of this crazy making that you will experience. And I'm the obviously kind of the circus master, if you will, guide us through this. Corinne is the one has all of the knowledge and whose experience and whose knowledge we're going to build this entire series on. So yes. Corinne, do you want to say something?
I do.
She's going to have to me let her say things.
Because this was originally my podcast, but now it's our...
It's not anymore.
It's our podcast.
Sorry. You'll get to know us.
Which Way From Here is my podcast that Rachel is taking over and in the best way possible. I am also an experienced clearer, tarot reader, energy worker, and intuitive teacher. Ugh, though I don't like saying that.
No, it sounds good because you do.
Yeah.
You teach intuition, which is really a really hard thing to do for people who don't have it.
Yeah.
So we'll do a full intro,
yep,
later. But what we're doing today is we are going to experience one of Corinne's clearing. I don't want to call it a ritual. I want to call it a protocol.
It's a protocol.
It's a protocol.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which we'll get into, but we want to kind of set the stage for this as far as, what are we doing? Yep. Okay, and who are we doing it with? How are we, the who, what, when, where, why?
Yep.
If you will.
We should definitely introduce Liz and let her talk.
We'll call her Lee.
Call me Liz, it's fine.
We can call you Liz. All right. She's good with it.
I'm Liz.
Doesn't care.
I'm Liz. I'm the client.
Okay.
I
First client.
have a situation in my house where I had a very terrible relationship and divorce situation, and I've been in the house with myself and my son for over a year and done a lot of projects to better the house and to give good energy, and my wonderful friends have come over and helped me. However, there's something still hanging on that no amount of wishing it away has been able to make it go away. I clean. I've remodeled my entire bedroom, save for the carpet, and there's a lot of bad energy that's been going on there. And every morning when I get up and put my feet down on the floor, all I can think of are all the terrible things, and it invades my sleep and it invades my waking space. So I've figured out that it's beyond me, and it's not just bad memories. There's something there that I'm experiencing that needs to be cleaned away, that is beyond this realm, and that's where I've
been forced to enlist Corinne's help.
Gratefully accepted the assistance of my friend.
So
I'm going to pause.
I would like to say that as said close friend and people you're taking, advice from, Liz is a type A cleaner. Everything is super clean. Everything is super organized. And yet there's this, when I go into her bedroom, it's just literal chaos. And it's just, if her whole house looked like this, I would say, well, that's just you, and that's fine. That's not a bad thing. But that, to me, signifies a very, like, it's not characteristic of you. It's not you. Yeah. It's something that is off. Yeah. And that's, obviously why I asked Corinne about it. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. And I talked Liz into it. Yeah.
In the kindest of ways.
Yes. Fully.
Just sleep in that room?
That's a really good question.
Here's the thing. Yes, I've had insomnia most of my life. However, I am more comfortable when I fall asleep on the couch than when I fall asleep in that room, because I know when I wake up, it's this strange, like, the sensation of landing my feet on the floor. I just picture things that...
So the floor is a big part of this discomfort for you. And I would argue almost, because you were very adamant, and let's rip the carpet up. I'm going to clean this tomorrow. We're going to get every trace out of there. But I feel like even if that's done, I'm not sure that you would be able to, like, separate that. Like, I feel like almost like the carpet is like a scapegoat, if you will, or...
Well, maybe, but also think of this. Back when my ex-husband moved out and everything was changing, I allowed people into every space in my house except that one. I was like, I'm taking care of my room, please, just vibe. This is my deal. But then over time, it's become a problem.
It's almost like putting
where all
soul
the bad
over your door.
Memories are living right there. Yes.
To keep the shit out, and then it ends up keeping the shit in.
Do you have those feelings in other rooms, other spaces?
Occasionally in Victor's room, but not in the same way, just because of different memories that are in there too. Mm-hmm. But the rest of the house, not a thing. Nothing.
No. And there's no evidence of that in the rest of the house.
Right. There's no evidence of that, and I don't... It's one thing to say that this is purely psychological, but it's not. It's a feeling. It's gone beyond, I stare at this carpet. It's like, no, I feel it.
Yeah.
Internally.
And you try to ignore it.
And you can't.
It sounds like...
I cannot. And it does. It bothers me all the time.
So can we talk about, real quick, the carpet? Mm-hmm. Why is it the carpet that bothers you so much?
So when it was me and a spouse in there, I mean, there's certain memories. We actually made our child in that room. We spent a lot of time together in that room. We actually did our therapy sessions together in that room because we could close the door. Mm-hmm. And that was when I was already trying to get him out of my house in the first place. And then I felt very trapped in there because it's the only room that we could get quiet enough to do these video sessions.
Okay.
And there's so many more things. He would put his foot powder on, and
the foot powder is the best part for me, because I feel like we always go back to the foot powder.
I feel like it's just in there. It's just stuck in there, and it's him. And well, let's be frank, I had sex with him on the floor in there many times. Right. It's just this creep. Everything else is different. Furniture, bed, everything.
Now, I would like to mention at this point too that Liz has gone to a great, and the uncle that she had mentioned earlier has a theater degree in costume design and
worked in the industry in Hollywood.
Worked in Hollywood, right? So he has conditioned this room to literally look like a hotel room, but not in a bad way. Like a very upscale, relaxing. The colors are very warm.
It looks like a hotel room because we went for a Hollywood Regency look.
So she's got this very elaborate design scheme, but yet it's these piles of memories and piles of shit in the physical realm that are holding her back from having this space for herself and enjoying this space for herself.
Correct.
And it's very superficial things that are going into changing this. So this is the part where we get to the root of why you're not enjoying it. Because it's not the aesthetic.
It's not the aesthetic. That's too easy to fix.
Yes.
There's more.
Yes.
And that's where you guys come in.
Yeah.
That's where Corinne comes in.
That's where I come in.
All right.
Yeah. And see?
There's carpet in your room?
Yes.
Okay, so now we're in Liz's house.
We're in the house.
We're in the kitchen.
So, look around.
Yes.
How, on a scale of 1 to 10, how clean would you rate, like, this?
This is like a 9.5.
It's literally, and the only reason it's the 0.5 is off is because she has a 8-year-old
She has a
son
kid.
who does things.
Yeah.
Now, let's, into the dining room. I mean...
So, right now, sorry to cut you off.
No, go.
I'm feeling a lot of a sensation in my heart, and it's heavy, and normally that feels deeply of grief. So a lot of grief in this space. Very heavily, tightly lidded grief. Liz is very good at managing her emotions, but it's management through suppression. So, which we've had that conversation.
Great way to put it. Now,
and it is strong. Oh, it's just getting bigger and
gonna get
stronger and stronger. Like, I feel like bursting into tears right now. Holy shit. Okay. That's heavy. It is heavy in here.
You're right about there.
This whole house, but definitely in here. And there's a fan right now, so that'll probably be a sound. Yikes. Okay. Whew. Yeah, no, this place definitely needs a whole lot of clearing, not just the bedroom.
We're going to go over this later, but I will validate your sense that there is a very heavy feeling in here for a very good reason.
It's all good reasons. Good, but like valid reasons.
I mean,
yeah.
Legitimate reasons.
Right. It's all legitimate. I feel bad doing this without her, but I really am like
just
cold.
Go. It's fine. She won't care.
Yikes. Oh my God. Okay. Jesus, it's so heavy in here.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Oof, you don't want to go in here.
Okay, so I am now in like a spare bedroom.
So this is something that, can I give you just a little bit of history on
Absolutely.
this one? So this was a former bedroom, okay? This was the bedroom that the ex's daughter stayed in while she was here. Okay. And when the divorce happened and everybody moved out, Liz spent an excessive amount of time. This was the first room she basically focused on as far as redoing it.
Okay.
So she did the wallpaper. I was here. I spilled a whole gallon of paint on the floor, which was great. But she painted all the trim. She sanded a lot of things. Like, she wanted to make this room look really good. There was nail polish on the floor. She ripped up all the carpet. Right. She pulled the nails out.
It's beautiful hardwood floor.
Yeah. And she made it very, obviously.
But it's very closed in. Like, I have a very claustrophobic feeling in this room.
So this is where her office, her in-home office is going to be because she works from home. But this is also, I will point out, and I want to bring this up, the guest room. Okay? Because you can make this into like a bed couch thing.
We're talking about
overstuffed chair, so you can make that into a bed. And when people come here, they stay here.
In this room?
Yes.
Oof, okay.
And
it is claustrophobic as fuck in here.
Okay, but it's not because there's 2 windows.
There's 2 windows, yeah, but the feeling of this room for me, I'm just saying my feeling.
There has been a friend of hers who is going through kind of some similar situations. Okay. Very, traumatic, who has been staying in this room at least, 3 times a week for the past, couple months.
Okay.
So I don't know if, that's... But also, this is, the traveler room, right?
Right.
So you're bringing in a lot of different energies in here, and they may be staying.
Absolutely. And it just feels like, this whole...
But it's a beautiful... But if you look at it,
beautiful.
It's very bright. It's very beautiful.
Yeah.
It's not... There's no reason this should...
There's no reason why it should feel claustrophobic.
As it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it does feel... This whole floor feels very claustrophobic. Okay.
Let's go to the bathroom. Yeah. I want to go to the bathroom next.
Yes, ma'am. We're following her.
Okay. Let's go to the bathroom next.
Okay. Bathroom. It's actually really just fine. Mm-hmm. Bathroom doesn't feel weird to me.
Okay.
Yeah. Bathroom, I mean, other than it has the energy of this whole floor, and this whole floor is pretty intense. All right. Now, Victor's room. Oof. Okay. So we're in Victor's room, which is the sun. And... okay, so back into feelings of grief. But I
have a lump in my throat, and maybe it's because I know the situation, but I'd like to pretend I'm just forgetting all of that.
I'm also feeling sensations in my solar plexus, and that normally tends to be about will, and sense of self and self-power. I don't want to attach too much narrative to it, so it's just more of a bit of anxiety, intensity, which makes sense. I mean, it's been hard on everyone. The whole experience of separation and all that is going to be intense. There's just a lot of warring emotions and conflicting emotions kicking around in this space, this whole floor, the whole house, let's be honest. But yeah. Okay.
I tried to steer away from the living room and just be like, oh, it's fine, just move through here. And she kind of did a pause and went, the living room is not okay.
The living room is not okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, the whole house is not okay. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, but it's not okay. All right. So now we are finally in. Let's turn this on.
Kill it.
We are in the bedroom.
So now that we've described it to you, can you see what we mean from the beautiful? I mean, my God, the decorations in here, the care and detail to everything, and then this stuff, Liz, if I'm not mistaken,
which I'm not,
was over here, and you can't even get to this because. This is in the way.
Slightly improved version at the moment.
And being improved meaning everything's now on the bed.
Yes.
That was on the floor. Most of it.
What's interesting is that the intense sensations that I am feeling throughout the entire house, I don't feel as much in this room. Which is, we would think, since this was the catalyst, that I would feel a whole lot of intensity in here. But I do feel the ickiness of the carpet.
Do you think that
I totally feel that.
Do you think that if it wasn't mentioned, do you think you would feel it? Do you think it's like a brainworm kind of thing where it's now that you're aware of it,
maybe the ickiness of the carpet is a brainworm, but the
carpet's not icky. Also, it's not dirty.
It's not dirty. I totally see what you mean. There is a sensation within this carpet that it just doesn't...
You can't vacuum it away.
Yeah. There's it's a je ne sais quoi feeling. I don't know how to describe it, but I totally see what you mean. This whole house has a whole lot of intensity and a whole lot of shit hitting it around. The room has its fair share, but it's actually not as much as I felt in the living room. The living room is probably one of the worst feeling rooms in this whole house.
So I have a question then. Why do you think that, I have my own theory, but why do you think then that all the chaos then is kind of occurring in this room as opposed to not in the living room, which has the feeling?
Because people can see the living room. And
Victor has to live in the living room, and that's kind of my theory. And you're making it more normal.
To be honest, the worst terrible things that happen here happen in the living room.
Yeah,
so
I am not surprised.
And even though it's actually literally a different floor in there, a new wood floor, even since everything. everything painted and fresh, different furniture entirely.
So it's not the carpet in here, just like it's not the floor or furniture downstairs, because that was eliminated and the problem still exists.
Yeah.
So it's not the carpet in here.
No. I agree. Get rid of this carpet.
But also, let's
If
get rid
it
of
doesn't
make you feel good, get rid of it.
I see what you mean. This carpet needs replaced.
The closet always makes me feel a little strange, but
yes.
and I've redone it. But my dad's ashes were in there a very long time. They're in a different closet now.
Closets are liminal spaces, so those tend to be just weird in general. But just on my own personal thing, I'm not picking up much. Oh, wait, no, I lied. Yeah, there's definitely some shit kicking around in there. Okay. Yeah, so there's just all of everything that you've been experiencing is right here, right in your face, every single day, constantly. The sensations, all of it is all kicking around in this space. And you have done so much work around it. And unfortunately, it hasn't been able to be released for a variety of reasons, none of which are your fault. It's just kind of the nature of things, especially if you're unaware of how energy moves, how to move it in yourself. And since you are a person who tends to...
It's an auto, right?
Yeah. Since you're a person that tends to suppress in order to get through your day, which I understand, I get it, it is harder to allow things to flow through and out. So what we're going to do, we're going to send Jenna and Rachel downstairs, and I'm going to take you through the protocol, the energetic protocol. And we, together, you and I, we're going to just clear this whole house. We're going to get rid of everything. And we're not, no narrative. And I'm going to kind of talk about the energetic protocol in a little bit. We're not going to worry about the narrative. We're not going to worry about where it came from, what's going on. We're just going to make it go away. And that's the whole point. And just freshen things up. Can we open windows? Is that something that's okay? We should definitely...
people next door are having a party.
So I think opening windows and just getting fresh air in here is going to be really helpful.
Just tell us where to go.
Go wherever you want.
This window is open.
Oh, okay. Really? Oh my gosh, it feels so stuffy. Yeah. And I think it's definitely the stuck to energy. Okay. So the energetic protocol is really simple, and basically we are going to do what...
Should they take Rosie?
Oh, Rosie's fine. She's wonderful. Rosie, sweet doggy. So the energetic protocol is basically we're all wired to take care of our energetic spaces. So this is just you doing what you're naturally capable of doing, but didn't realize you could do it. Okay. So you basically connect into your source center, and source center is saying the flow of existence comes up through your source center, and that's in your heart area. So we connect our source center with the source center of the earth, and all you have to do is just intend it. You don't even have to visualize if you don't want to. So I'm going to take us through step by step, and just know that you're doing it. You don't have to feel it. You don't have to see it. Just know that it's happening, and just accept that it's happening, that you cannot do this wrong. It's you're incapable of getting this wrong. Okay. So I think sitting would be good. We don't have to sit, but I like to sit. You can stand if you want to, but I'm going to sit on the floor as I run into things with my hips. That's kind of how I roll. So the energetic protocol is really simple. It was developed by my really good friend, Amanda, and she taught me this, and it is extremely effective. So I'm going to put my phone down. So just follow along with me, okay? So feel into your source center, and that is in the center of your chest. Feel deeply into that space and intend to connect your source center with the center of the earth. And when you connect to the earth, just know that you are immediately releasing anything and everything that is not you. Anything and everything that's stuck to you, that you just picked up, anything that no longer serves you, anything that just shouldn't be here is immediately releasing out of your system, down the grounding cord to the earth, where it's getting transmuted and redistributed. So we're just going to take a few deep breaths and just know that in this moment, anything that's not you is releasing out down that grounding cord. Okay. Now we are going to once again feel into the source center and just simply intend to call upon a source-aligned iridescent frequency. And what this frequency does is clear out all the shit that shouldn't be here. It helps transmute, and it also helps create a protective bubble. And what I want you to do is first feel it forming in your source center, and then it emanates out through your physical body, taking out anything that shouldn't be in your physical body, and then emanate it out through the space in your room, and it's taking out anything that shouldn't be here, sending it down the grounding cord, and it continue to expand and expand out of the room, past Victor's room, past the second floor, down into the first floor, up to the roof. Really feel the expansion in every single direction, like a sphere emanating out of your body. And it's pushing past, eliminating anything and everything that shouldn't be here. Really laying it on thick. See that iridescent layer going to the very outsides of your property. And we're going to make this thick. Think of it as like 10 feet thick. And this is going to provide protection so that other gross energies cannot come in. So it's eliminating and then providing a thick shield of protection around your property. And it's also protecting your physical body as well. Okay, just know that that's happening. And now we're going to call upon the source-aligned electric blue grid. The electric blue grid kind of does the same thing. It helps transmute. It helps get rid of anything and everything that shouldn't be here. So we're going to do several different kinds of frequencies that do similar things, but it's just layers of protection. So feel the electric blue grid first in your source center, emanate it out through your physical body. It's going to go through all your energetic bodies, all the different layers of your energetic bodies. It's going to remove anything that shouldn't be there. And then we're going to emanate it out into this physical space of your home. So we're taking out anything that's in your room, your bedroom, Victor's room, the first floor, the entire house, the entire property. Just really feel it as it joins the iridescent layer, and it sends anything and everything down the grounding cord that shouldn't be here. And so we're just forming a tight container around your space. Okay, now I'm going to call upon, it's like a source-aligned dark, it's like a dark pearlescence. So think like a black pearlescence. So a dark pearlescent frequency. And we're going to put that on the, like, again, emanating it out. And I see it as like it magnetizes any sneaky bits of energy that shouldn't be here. And it also repels things that shouldn't be there. So we're going to emanate that out through our physical bodies, out our energetic bodies, and we're going to have it go through your entire home and sending it to the very furthest reaches, even outside the first iridescent layer. And just know that anything it magnetizes and pulls out, it sends immediately down that grounding cord. and it's also repelling anything that might want to come in that shouldn't be here. So just feel into that dark source-aligned iridescent frequency as it does its thing, and know that's going to do its thing without you having to try. Okay, that's good. All right, so now I'm going to call upon source-aligned silver rays or spikes, and we're going to pulse those. So again, starting from your source center, simply intend that you're going to pulse these rays in every direction. And it's going to do the same thing. It's going to repel anything that shouldn't be here. And it's just, again, another extra layer of protection. And it's going to go even further than the other layers of frequencies that we've already put into place. And it's just going to take more things out. So just breathe in and pulse. Breathe in, pulse. One more. Breathe in and pulse. Okay. Now we're going to pulse a purple cosmic heart frequency. Now this is about bringing in the kinds of frequencies that help you feel at home, that help you feel safe, that connects you with your larger sense of self, okay? So again, simply intend, source align. We're going to pulse, so breathe in and pulse. Breathe in, pulse. Breathe in and pulse. Now we're going to add source align angelic pearlescence. So now we're bringing in like the kinds of frequencies that make you feel safe, that make you feel aligned, that make you feel like you're at home. So source align, angelic pearlescent frequency, again, so emanating that out through your physical body from your source center. Feel it emanating into all your energetic layers. And we're going to emanate that out through the entire physical space of your home, to your properties where it joins all the other frequencies. And we're just going to fill this space with that beautiful angelic pearlescence. Now I want to call upon a source align aqua sanctuary frequency. This is a frequency that is specifically something that I've developed and found or revealed itself to me. So it's this aqua frequency, and it's about home, sanctuary, peace, tranquility. Really like your space being your haven. So source align, feel that in your connection. Emanate it through your physical body, out into all the energetic layers. Really laying that on thick into the space, your room, second floor, first floor, the entire property. Just feel into that sanctuary frequency. Know that it's simply happening without having to try. Okay, we're going to do 2 more. Let's do the source aligned. Oh yeah, and send all these frequencies down the grounding cord as well. I forget to say that. So attend all the frequencies that we've been using, also go down the grounding cord to create a complete container. Okay, so now we're going to call upon a forest green regenerative frequency. So the regenerative frequency allows for energy to move as it should. So just kind of breaking up any leftover stagnancy that might still be here. There isn't much at this point, but really freeing that up. So that source aligned forest green regenerative frequency, feel it in your physical body, knowing that your physical body is getting regenerated. So anything that needs repaired is going to get repaired with this frequency. Feeling that, sending it into your energetic bodies, out into the physical space, first floor, second floor, your entire property where it joins all the rest. Setting it down the grounding cord. And finally, simply ask your source connection if there's anything else this space needs for you to be truly at home. Just quietly know that whatever else is needed will happen, and feel it emanating out from your physical body, through your energetic bodies, into this space. Setting it down the grounding cord. Okay, so now I'm going to just ask my body, is there anything else that is needed for this space? It's a no. Liz, is there anything else you think this space needs in this moment?
I'm thinking. There's something need a small bit more of serenity. I'm feeling well is the best I can put it.
Like you want a serenity frequency? Is that what you mean?
If you so have one, I'll take it.
A little bit more serenity?
Yes.
Okay.
Being that we're here in the bedroom, and it's what I need the most.
Yeah.
Some serenity and peace.
What kind of color would you like? Color or texture? It could be like glitter. It could be. What comes to mind when you think of your personal serenity?
My personal serenity is blue.
Blue.
And it's also the sound of wind.
Oh, I love that. Okay. So let's call upon that. You know, I see blue with silver. Does that resonate with you?
It does.
Okay, so let's call upon this blue, silvery frequency that is the quality of wind. We'll call upon that within our source connection. Do the same thing. We're going to emanate that through our physical bodies into our energetic bodies, and really lay that on thick here in your bedroom, really filling up this space with that frequency. And then we'll also expand it through the rest of your house, because serenity and tranquility is everything that you want in your home. Really know that this space is just filled with your source-aligned silvery blue frequency that is serenity. And then we're going to also send that frequency down the grounding cord to fill the container. Ooh, that feels lovely.
Birds chirping right on cue outside.
Mm-hmm, right? That matters. Those moments, those are real. All right, anything else?
I'm feeling great.
I'm feeling complete too. Yeah. I'm going to keep the recording going.
During the process, because of my personal religious beliefs, I was completely engaged, but however also kind of invoking my own, the Virgin Mary and
Yeah.
as a guide, and
That's
and
fantastic.
my saint. Bring them into the process and see how that feels.
Yeah.
It's
How did
very
it feel?
pleasant. It felt really great. And you were talking about that that silver blue to end it. If you look behind you, that
Oh, yeah.
my son made that very silvery bluish
Yeah.
artwork when he was tiny, and my uncle just framed it and put it on the wall in here because I said I've always wanted it framed and I just haven't gotten around to it.
Oh, my God.
It's literally blue with a silver frame. And
That
it brings
is
me
amazing.
peace to look at it. Like, ever since he put it on there, I'm like, that's the perfect spot. I can see it in the morning, and it brings me a lot of joy.
Oh, my gosh. That's fantastic.
So,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
just that it's a favorite color scheme, it really makes me happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my God. That's perfect. That's these things always are, right? That's amazing. Yeah. And like, whatever, that's what I love about this process is that it is about you, what feels resonant for you, and bringing in the Virgin Mary, bringing in the saint while engaging in this process. Like, it's perfect because it's just amplifying what you're already doing naturally, and it creates that resonance for you so that you're claiming your space and you're releasing all of the shit that was knocking around your system that wasn't yours, that was keeping you beholden to the old memories and the old energetics and the old way of life. And so now it will be easier to move forward centered in the autonomy of Liz, of you. Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah, exactly. That's this whole process of setting yourself free. Right? Like, I don't know about you, but I feel so much more centered and calm in this space now in a way that I wasn't feeling when I entered the home.
Lighter.
Lighter.
Much lighter. Like, I carry a lot of burdens generally. I don't outwardly express things
Right.
necessarily, but they're in there. They're always stuck. So
Yeah.
it helps.
Yeah.
It really helps.
And, you don't always have to express things in order to release them. Like, this protocol is a great way to just clear things out. It has nothing to do with telling people things, though that's good too. But if, like, first and foremost is, how do you want to function in your life? And if you don't feel like outwardly expressing is how you want to do it, this protocol is an amazing way to clear things out without having to tell people things,
Right. Yeah. It's not therapy.
Exactly. It's more useful. I love therapy. I love not knocking against therapy, but people get caught in trauma traps. Sometimes talking about things, people will loop, and it's really hard to move forward. This cuts it at its core. And it's
Here's
simple.
the thing. Once you've exhausted things like therapy, what's left?
Exactly.
If you're still holding on to some bad, you can give it any name you want. We'll call it energy. I think that's the right word for it.
Yeah.
It's something that in the atmosphere, something in the universe that's stuck to you.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a bad spirit, whether it's a bad feeling you can't make go away. You can't talk it away at some point. You can't do cognitive behavioral therapy enough to make something like that disappear.
Exactly.
I've put in the other work. I've definitely put in the other work.
Yeah.
So,
And it helped, but to a point.
yes.
Just to a point. Yeah.
No, this has been wonderful.
Good. I'm so glad. Yeah, I definitely noticed a huge shift.
Thing is, during the process, my spine was really kind of hurting. It was weird. I don't typically, I crack my back a little, but I don't suffer back problems. It just kept hurting. I thought, no, not now. Why? And then I don't feel it now.
Interesting.
I feel more relaxed and more at
Yeah.
peace.
Yeah.
Like that stuff was moving up and out, which makes
down
sense.
and out or something.
Yeah. However, yeah, like, and the spinal cord is where like a lot of stuff will travel, obviously, because that's your main column. So, wow, that's really cool. Wow. Yeah, I'm feeling really good about this.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, I'm so glad. You ready to rejoin? All right, yes. Cool. I'm going to pause that. How it feels. Yes. So I'm now in Victor's room. Yeah, to me this now feels different. Yeah, it feels better.
I don't know if Rachel did a thing in here, but it smells better. Kind of smell like little kid gym socks in here.
You know, little boys definitely do that. Yeah, it feels better. Let's go ahead and look in the other room.
My stepdad is still in here.
Your stepdad's still in there.
I have to honor him in some way and do something.
Yeah. But this room doesn't feel as claustrophobic as it did when I first walked in here. So yeah, this feels a lot better too. Good. All right. Definitely feel like we made some big progress. Sometimes, like with the school, I had to do multiple clearings because of the walls, the concrete walls. Oh my God, it's so much better down here. Holy shit. I'm going to turn off this fan real quick.
Oh, yeah. Keep fans on all the time.
Oh, yeah, which I...
myself.
Right?
But I also like the...
Oh my gosh. So when I first walked in here, the intense feelings of grief hit me like a Mack truck. And it feels so much lighter in here now.
It was a very bad room.
Yeah. I mean, how are you feeling? I know I'm
good.
Yeah.
Much lighter.
Much lighter, yeah.
Am I aware of things happening here? Sure. But it doesn't feel...
It's like, ugh.
Another step to make it my home. It doesn't belong to him.
Yeah.
It doesn't belong to somebody who brought really terrible things into my home.
That's right.
Exceptionally awful things in here.
Yeah.
But now they're his things.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, this feels so good. Like for me, and I know confirmation bias, blah, 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 but I don't care. Feels so good in here now. Like
you said, it just like even, I don't think Rachel came upstairs and did any setup. They just smelled better.
Yeah.
Like I always feel like my house, even no matter how much I clean or try, it just smells to me weird in here. Bad.
Yeah.
I feel good.
Good. Oh, that's so exciting. All right. We're going to go outside. Yeah, go for it. Yeah. All right. So different. You have to go in there. It's so different. I'm still recording. We went room by room just to check, and it's like night and day. It's night and day in there. And I want to see what you feel.
It's receptive. Everything's.
Yeah,
we're doing a good job. We're doing a good job. All right.
Yeah, I want to see what you feel. Will you come in?
I absolutely will. Because I was feeling some things.
Good. My battery's going to die soon, which is the only reason why I'm like wishing you. Because I'm really excited about this recording. Liz is going to the bathroom right now, but I just want to see what you think since you weren't a part of it and you were out here, just how you feel.
I mean, I was in here though.
Right.
So, and this wasn't a problem. The kitchen's a great room.
So we're currently in the living room, and Rachel is feeling into
I don't feel as like my heart's not beating as fast as it is when I normally come in here because I know all the history.
Right.
Which is why I also didn't tell you about
I didn't
history.
Want to hear any of it. Yeah.
You shouldn't.
For me, it feels so much lighter in here. It's like, for me, this is night and day because when I first came in here, I couldn't even breathe.
You were having trouble when you got to the dining room, which you just walked through with like no problem.
Yeah. Yep. This room was the worst. The living room was the worst. It feels so much clearer in here.
It's interesting too, like from a person who like doesn't know the full story.
Right.
Again, coming in blind to, I knew what was happening, and also interesting enough, like she disregarded the living room immediately. That's not it.
Right.
That's not it. Because it all looks pretty on the outside here. Because it has to.
Right. Exactly.
But it's not that it's not now. It wasn't now.
I would say the living room was absolutely the epicenter of all the grossness.
Interesting.
Yep. So we're now on the second floor.
I got a different thing from the bathroom than you did, though.
That's okay. Yeah.
But I don't... I'm a little hyper in here. I still have to admit, this space for me is a little hyper.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which is weird because you didn't think I was. I immediately was like, but whereas you were like, the office is like totally cool, or
what's not cool?
Not cool, and I'm like,
it's
totally
fine.
Cool.
Yeah, because individual.
So I don't.
See, for me, it doesn't feel claustrophobic in here anymore, and it used to. And it did when I first got here. Now it actually, I can tell that there are two windows. Where before I knew there were two windows, I could see them, and yet it felt
right.
So
I'm like, Corinne, there are two windows. Why do you think it's claustrophobic? No, there aren't. There are.
I mean, I saw them, but it felt awful. So now it feels clear to me. We are now in Victor's bedroom.
Yeah. And for me, this is a hard one because I tend to take on the little kid stuff.
Yeah.
And feel very sensitive to kids. And when I walked in here the first time, I think I went downstairs and ignored you guys, but the lump in my throat when I walk in here, it was just so I can't, and then I stop.
Yeah.
And I don't feel that.
Good. Yeah, I don't feel the intensity in this room anymore. Yeah. Mm-mm. And then finally, Liz's bedroom.
So here's the thing about this.
I know you see the mess, but if you can just shut your eyes and feel.
I didn't necessarily feel an intensity in here in the first place.
Okay. You just saw the chaos.
I just saw the chaos. And for me, that's like, so if she cannot feel that, obviously is the goal. But I didn't feel but I didn't let myself go to that point because I was like, it's already something.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's not an if, it is, and
like just how much. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And what is it going to take to get this out of here? So, hopefully we'll check back and we're going to do a actual cleaning of the carpet and of the cells and all the things, tomorrow. So, it's a beautiful room, and it's a shame that somebody as beautiful as that should enjoy a room as beautiful as this.
Yeah.
And so we're going to...
For me, this feels lighter in here. We laid thick frequency, tranquility frequency.
It kind of does, though. Yeah. Now that you're saying that, it's I didn't feel it before, but you know what I feel? And I'm going visceral here. I feel a very heavy tingling on the outside of my skin.
Okay. Well, what do you associate with that?
I have no idea. No idea. Not tingling, but just a warm...
Okay. Sensations.
Almost like an alive... my fingertips are... There's no reason my fingertips should be tingling. I was just, but it's just this... energizing, if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is... I didn't feel anything before. I just knew that it was a mess.
Right.
And I... thought it was a source of the issue, but I don't think it can be, pared down to one thing. And I think that
absolutely.
I'm amazed that you came in and actually, like, picked up on these other things when we were just like, oh, no, we're just focused on this room. And you're like, hold the phone. We've got bigger fish to fry before that happens. This was my fish to fry because of the pile of clothes that's on the bed.
Right.
You know, I mean, like, I want to make this an enjoyable, nice, wonderful space for her to enjoy because...
Absolutely.
Look around.
Yeah. So she has beautiful furniture in here. Will you
confirm for me, though, that the rest of the house...
Yeah.
Aesthetically...
It's beautiful.
Doesn't match... This
exactly
was the source of the concern, if you will.
Yeah. So, and again, with this work, it's always going to be our personal associations, our personal views. All of it's correct. All of it's relevant. So the fact that you and I are feeling different things, that's okay. And we both recognize that there's something really wrong in this house. And now, I think... And I don't mean to put words in your mouth.
Go right ahead.
I don't mean to force you into any idea. For me, this house feels amazing now. And it's going to feel even more amazing when all the mess is taken care of. But
that's my hang up.
Yeah,
that's not the hang up of the and Rosie's and look who just came up.
Hi, baby.
The dog. Hi.
Yeah, so for you, but that's mine. So I'm just going with the sensation of the house. If you can close your eyes and just feel into the sensation of the house, it's so much lighter.
My heart's not beating as fast. My stomach doesn't feel slightly nauseous.
Yeah.
It was the heart for me. It was like when I walked into that room, and for me, it was the bathroom. And I'm still not 100% sure on that one.
Okay,
we'll get there. But it was this one. It was
the spare bedroom and Victor's room is what she's pointing at.
Yeah. And my heart was beating. Well, no, the spare bedroom I thought was fine, but I felt like that was carrying a lot of other people's.
Definitely.
People are staying here because it's a guest room.
Yeah.
And that's the thing you kind of gotta, and this might be another thing we can talk about later, is how do rooms that you house your best of friends and your family, and when people come to stay for the holidays and they bring all this energy in your house and they stay there, and it just, does that linger? Does that
definitely regular clearings of your space are a must. Regular clearings, this is good. It will be even better if Liz engages in regular clearings of her space.
You know what? Specimen 1, specimen 0, as it will.
Specimen 0.
Yeah, she's like our...
Oh, yeah. She's our test case. Yep. So...
Show off. Oh, look. No.
The dog is being very cute right now. So, yeah, I'm feeling really good about it. So, let's go down, join Liz, and then we can wrap up.
How... Post-mortem here.
Post-mortem. You keep saying that.
That's what they call it. That's an actual business term.
Is it? Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't mean anything. It's so our post-mortem discussion, which is after we did it all. Now what? I kind of set up the charcuterie, but it didn't totally happen.
Well, I set some plates and stuff.
Oh, you finished it.
All right.
Open this nice door for some breeze.
Yes, yeah. The opening windows will really just it's like icing on the cake for what we just did.
Let it all hang out.
Just let it all release fresh air. Mm-hmm. And then the cleaning that you guys are going to do tomorrow will really, really help.
I get to be involved then.
So, anything else, Rachel, before we end the recording? What do you think?
Not to this point. I have a lot of questions, but we'll address that in our post-mortem.
I have a question.
Yeah. Okay.
Is there something that, and I don't know if I call it a bad energy or a bad spirit or something, but in my ofrenda that I keep,
is there an entity?
I put my cousin in she died of an overdose.
Okay.
Fairly recent, this year. But I put her in the ofrenda with my other beloved relatives, even though she and I weren't that close. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I just feel very sad. I mean, maybe it's because she was so young.
Yeah, that will happen. If there were any entities or lingering earthbounds or any, we cleared that out. Like what we engaged in clears out everything.
I guess I'm thinking of something more like, almost like a prayer or something for her, because I feel like she needed a lot in life and didn't.
That's not.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, nothing
I
to do
don't
with.
think that's
yeah.
you. That's your, because you're such an emotional person.
It's not to do with this house, but I just feel so. She was so tormented as a person. That,
Right.
That's separate from. That's a whole other.
We send some good energy her way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now that we've got it to send, let's send it.
Yeah, right? Absolutely.
I haven't felt like sending her much energy. The best I could do is to put her baby, and not even an adult picture, just a baby
because
picture.
this house was suffocating. You were suffocating in your own home. And now it's so much lighter. I keep saying it, but
I can beautify it as much as I wish. I work so hard at scrubbing and painting. Every wall's
and it's
been painted,
gorgeous looking.
but it's surface.
Yeah.
A lot of handy. It's like as if I was feeling that if I sand and paint enough, that it takes away all the other issues.
Yeah, all the ick.
Ick.
But that ick was, oh man, it was layers thick.
It's soul.
Yeah. But it's
Soul,
gone
not
now.
surface.
So
We don't speak of it.
if you continue to engage with clearing, so it's okay if you can't remember all the different things that we did, but the feeling of like, oh, I'm just going to call into my source connection. And then again, you can call in whoever you want as well. But source connection to the earth, that's the most important thing to remember.
I want to integrate them as much as I can is the thing.
Yeah, which is perfect, right? And again, it's just that integration is going to amplify what you're already doing.
I don't think they fight each other.
Not at all. It's totally a compliment. And that's why I say amplifying. And so if you can remember your source connection to the earth and then trust any frequency that you come up with, the silver blue tranquility, that was your frequency that you came up with that's relevant to you. Pulse that out throughout your home. And anything else that feels right to you, it's yours.
It's my frequency, but with your guidance. It's interesting how you came up with the words, but as soon as, and not at the moment, it felt right to me in that moment. But once we were actually done, and I opened my eyes fully, and right behind you was the picture that I've had that for 5 years in a closet, and just 2 weeks ago it was put on my wall and framed, and it's all blue and silver, and it all pulls together.
Right? There's
How do I
just
put
beautiful
it? Sometimes you just
synchronicity.
let it be.
Yeah.
It is what it is. No, Victor's picture.
Don't accept or deny.
Yep.
Did she show you Victor's picture that Uncle George framed
I
and put on the
didn't say
wall?
that. No, I didn't tell her about that.
No, but it was on. It was on the. So when we were almost complete, and she asked me if there's anything else I need, I said, I feel like I do. I need something like that. He said, a little more serenity, a little more peace. I'm missing something. Mm-hmm. And she started bringing up what appeals to me, and I said blue, and she said, I'm thinking silvery blue, and she gave the tone. And then, and I didn't really put it together, but when we were done, as I opened my eyes, Victor's little painting that was in my closet for 5 years, and just was put up on the wall when Uncle George was here. It's right above her head.
The silvery
where we were
blue
sitting. I was like,
painting.
That wasn't an accident.
Nope.
No, it's not.
Exactly.
Neat business.
And seen.
Neat
And
business.
seen, as we say. And seen.
Neat business.
Yeah, man.
Let's go with
Those
that.
amazing little synchronicities. Yeah. Cool. I think we've done good work here.
All right. Well, we have some stuff to do tomorrow, and then we're gonna round it out, and we're gonna make this take it back.
It's taken back. Now the rest is the
Oh yeah, my part of taking. No, you guys have taken it back. I haven't taken it back.
All right, I'm going to end this recording. I think this is good. This is really good. All right, so there you have it. A genuine clearing from start to finish. If you made it this far and you thought that was interesting, you are my kind of people. So thank you for that. After this recording, about like a week after, Rachel and I met up with Liz again to ask how she was doing, see what happened. And Liz told me that the day after we did the clearing, she got up, got onto Amazon, ordered a bunch of new organizers and a new rug, and got to work on her room. She said that it was like the fog had lifted, and it was just it was suddenly so easy to get her room organized and clean. We went up to her room and checked it out, and it looked fantastic. It was completely organized, completely clean, all cluttered gone. It was awesome. And while I don't need confirmation anymore to show me that I'm actually doing something when I do this work, I freaking love getting confirmation. And it felt so good to hear that Liz was feeling at home in her house again. That was just beautiful. And it's why I do this, right? I love it. If this recording sparked curiosity in you and you haven't listened to my interview with my friend Amanda Woodward, who created the whole protocol yet, go check that out. It's episode 3, Getting Clear with Amanda Woodward. It is essential listening if you want to learn more about what clearing is, what an energetic anatomy is, how to go about it, how to do it safely. Like, we go deep into what clearing is, how Amanda created her protocol, all of it. It's just a good listen, and I like to hype my friends as much as I can. As of this recording, Amanda still has a few spots open for her basic training fall program. So right now it's Thursday, August 10th, 2023. This will probably go out Friday, August 11th, 2023. I think she only has a few spots left. So if you listen to this episode and listen to the interview with Amanda and you're like, I got to know more about this. I want to engage in this. It sounds life-changing, which it is. And I want to do it, which you should. Go check out her basic training program. You will not regret it. It is worth the investment because you're literally investing in the best life you can give yourself. I will have that link in the show notes. And finally, go check out all of our socials. We have an Instagram page, which is which_way_from_here. You'll see our logo on there. Please go check out our YouTube as well. Like and subscribe. That would be amazing. I post all of the Zoom interviews on there so that you can see our lovely faces. And Podbean automatically uploads all of the episodes on there. I'm still having trouble with Apple right now. I'm hoping to get that on there eventually, but there's something wrong with the art and it's just a big old pain in the ass. But I will let everyone know once Apple finally stops being such an asshole. I'm also taking clearing requests right now, though it's on a case-by-case basis. I only take on cases that feel truly resonant with me, though I will consider every case that's presented to me. Feel free to get a hold of me either through the Instagram account, my Instagram account, Corinne Libita. I am the only one in the world, so I'm easy to find. Or you can email whichwayfromhere@gmail.com. I'll keep an eye out on that account as well and see if there's anything that comes through on that. Like I said, it's case by case. I do not guarantee that I will work with you, but if I find that we are an energetic match, I will do everything I can to help. I can do clearings both remotely and in person. So if you're not in Columbus, Ohio, that's not a problem. I do prefer being in the places in person, but that's just a personal preference because I'm a big old dweeb for these things and I love just going to the places I've never been before. But I've done several clearings remotely. That's not an issue at all. So please feel free to reach out if you feel called to do so. All right, that is all I have for this one. Thank you so much again for being here, for listening, for giving me your attention. I am excited to continue to grow with you. So on that note, until next time, my friends.